Welcome to episode 39 of Curious Conversations. We are going to chat a little bit about the consistency of the podcast first off. Last couple of weeks there's been a lot of moving parts, which we're going to chat about in this episode. But we're back to weekly episodes from here on out. And yeah, we've got some exciting news.
We've got some seriously exciting news.
Yeah.
I feel like as well, just see because like since you left Sin, it's been difficult to kind of try and like manage what we're doing, especially with everything else kind of in the background and a lot of things, as you say, like moving parts and stuff going on. But we're here today.
Yeah, some exciting and some sad news as well. Now, what we want to chat about, we may as well just say it.
May as well, mate.
Because as a lot of you will already know, we've not spoke about it on the podcast, but I've mentioned it on social media. In January, start of January, I am flying to the other side of the world. I am going to Bali first on the 5th of January, and then at the start of February, I am moving to Sydney with Jenna. And we're flying from Bali to Sydney and looking to settle down there. And just for a couple of years is the plan. But I'll go into detail about that during this podcast. But the sad news is that we are going to be finishing up Curious Conversations for 4 weeks. And why is that? Why are we going to be finishing it up for 4 weeks?
Yeah, for 4 weeks because Anton's obviously going on the 5th of January. So I won't obviously see him. But I will see him 4 weeks later because I'm going to be moving over to Australia as well, bro. Don't know if you knew that. Yeah, so news is out. I'm gonna be heading over to Australia as well. Something that I've thought about for a long time, like even before we spoke about it, and before I knew that you were planning on going. Something that I've always wanted to do, but I think that now is the best possible time for me to go experience that side of the world, and yeah, it's extremely exciting for the two of us, to be fair.
Yeah, super exciting. Which means that you can all stop crying. I know you they got the tears out as soon as I said that. But we will be continuing Curious Conversations when we're over there. Yeah. It actually opens up so much more exciting things as well to talk about our journey through moving over, when we actually get there, how that is, and also just having more other guests on the podcast as well, people who you've probably never heard of, people who we will meet, who will get to know over there. So it's going to be a very cool journey to actually see the start of this podcast, like at the start of this year, which was literally just an idea of both of us. We used to have some good conversations and we're like, why don't we just record this and put it up? And now we have listeners. Like, we're going to do an episode on a Christmas special going over Spotify Wrapped of like where people listen to this, but there's like people listen all over the world, and it's like
that's mad to think, eh?
Yeah,
it is. It's mad because a lot of the time, like, you don't really think about that. And I actually thought about it when Spotify Wrapped came out, thinking like there's people that we're on people's Spotify Wrapped, which is mad to think.
This is like, I've mentioned it more, but there's like people in like India, like Singapore that listen. I was like,
it's wild,
I don't understand it.
It's wild.
So thank you to those who are listening. And yeah, so kind of we want to chat about the kind of reasons behind going, why we want to do it, and the kind of logistics, what our plans are, what that's going to look like over the next couple of months as well. And yeah, we're going to do a little bit of a roundup towards the end as well, going over this year. We'll do a Christmas special next week. We will also do a kind of end of year reflection, going over like our year, and probably give out ideas as to how to reflect on the listeners, whoever is listening, year as well.
Yep.
I'm going to make a little document thing that I do each year, and I'll put it up on my Instagram or something.
I remember that as soon as you said that. I remembered that last year. Done that. You sent me that over. That was class.
Yeah,
so that'll be good for a lot of people to do.
End of year reflection thing. It's good to, it's really good to do, to look over your year, but also plan the year ahead as well.
Yep.
So yeah, the why behind the move. You want to lead this one?
Yeah, I'll lead this one.
For you.
So as I said, like I've always kind of wanted to do this. See, before, like there was times before, maybe like 2 or 3 years ago, I was like watching people do it, and I never really understood why. But as I've kind of grown more mature and I've kind of broadened my horizons with a lot of things, like it's been something that's appealed to me massively, and it's just exciting. Like I want to go try something new, and I never really knew when the right time would be. Like I didn't know if that would come ever, but if there is a right time to do it, it's right now. Because as I say, obviously yourself, Jenna's going over, and also Fraz. So it's like I want to go experience that. I want to go see what we can do, and kind of just kind of grab the bull by its horns and actually take in the full kind of lifestyle. That's the biggest thing for me. Don't get me wrong, like I was talking to someone this morning about this, like it's not like I hate it here. Like I don't hate it here. I think it's great, and I love my life here. I love my job. I love everything like that. But as I say, I just want to go experience something different and really take things to the next level. So yeah, right now is the time for me, definitely. So that's probably kind of the reason why.
Yeah,
just kind of broaden the horizons.
I'm similar but different at the same time, in that Jenna and I went travelling in 2022 into 2023. We done 3 months in Australia during that time, and Sydney in particular and Gold Coast we absolutely loved. We were like, it would be really cool to live here one day. But like when we got back, like we spoke about it a little bit, but then it just, life happened and went back into, like, I was building my own coaching business at the point, so super busy, like built that up, went into sin afterwards, and just life kind of, like that kind of went in the background for me. I didn't particularly think about it loads. And then things kind of came about, like different ideas. Me and Jenna spoke about it a little bit, like over a couple of months, and then we were actually living in my pal's flat at the time. He came back from Dubai, and then that kind of forced us to make a decision, because we then moved out of the flat, and it was either like, it was a bit of a grey zone for me, because it was like, what do I do here? Do I like go rent another flat? Do I like save up to buy a house? But right now I'm in a grey zone, and that kind of forced me to think about where I wanted to be and like what I wanted to do. And I've got, like, I don't know, maybe 5 years or so until Jenna and I start to think about maybe having kids or whatever. And in that 5 years, I think the main thing that I asked was, what would my 80-year-old self tell me to do? And that really brought about, like, I want to live somewhere else. I want to live in a place where I'm outside my comfort zone, where it will challenge me to meet new people, to like get new clients, whatever it is, it will challenge me a lot. And the most growth I've ever had was over the last 2 years. And when I think about it the most, it's because I've put myself way outside my comfort zone. Leaving teaching, starting my own business, even traveling the world for 6 months, that was extremely uncomfortable to start off with. And then, like, I learned so much about myself during that time, having space, being somewhere else. And I think that it can be so easy to just let life roll. Like, see if my pal didn't come back from Dubai, and like at that point, I don't know if I would have made the decision. I would have just probably let life roll. And then, like, I'm not saying that that's a bad thing whatsoever. I think a lot of people will have that happen to them and live a super happy life. But for us, the decision was like, let's go do it. Let's go experience life in a different place. And it was a scary decision to make and a really difficult decision to make. Leaving a job that I loved, leaving family behind. But it's for a period of your life. It's not for your whole life. So yeah, that was the kind of main drivers why I wanted to do it, was to experience life in a really cool place that I know is amazing.
Totally. And in a different way, experience life in a different way. It's probably like even like a little bit more like scarier for me, because like you've experienced that to a certain extent. This is like all I've ever known.
Yep.
Which is pretty nerve-wracking. But nerve-wracking in a sense of like uncertainty, but I'm not like it's not nerve-wracking in a sense of like I don't know if I want to do it. It's like I'm 100% ready to take on those challenges and make sure, like, even if like things aren't maybe going the way that I wanted them to go, or there's challenges that arise, like, that's fine, because I'm going to be able to figure it out. Like, thinking about it, the way I always like to think about it is, like, when you're going through a hard time, like, no matter what it is, it could be moving over to a new city, or, like, a lot of change going through your life. Think about all the times that all the hard times that you've went through in your life, and you've got a 100% success rate on getting past them. So, like, that's the way you need to think about it. So, I think that it's exciting, but aye, it'll be good.
Yeah, you made a really good point earlier of the, like, you still love your life here, and I think that's so important, because so many people, you'll know people, whoever listens to this podcast will know people who moved away to somewhere else, running away from their problems, and then they end up moving back because the problems go with them. Problems are always an internal thing, and if you don't solve them in Scotland, you're not going to solve them in Australia, 100%. Dubai, wherever you move to. So that's the exact same for me. I'm not like running from Scotland because I don't like it here. I also love it here. I love having family here, friends here. Like, even training, like, there's everything here is good, but what's on the other side is challenge, is a different perspective on life, is new learnings and lessons that I wouldn't learn here, and I know that for a fact. So yeah,
that was a big realisation for me, because, like, as a lot of the people that listen to the podcast know, like, I was going through a little bit of a hard time a wee while back, and like this was like when you announced that you were going to Australia and stuff like that, and it was all out in the open, and obviously I was thinking about it, but it made me create change, because when I was feeling like that, I could literally be in paradise and I would still feel that same way.
Yeah.
So I knew there had to be something that had to be changed, and I had to go into, and I had to really kind of surrender to the things that I've been holding on to for my full life. And ever since I've done that, I feel like my life's just gotten so much better, and I'm actually able to work on my true self now, because I'm not trying to suppress that feeling or like try and suppress like emotions that I had been in the past, which is like, that's the best thing that this is probably brought around, is like me taking action on the things that I've always kind of wanted to take action on but didn't, because I was too scared or too comfortable in like my old kind of negative routines or habits. So even that, I'm not even in Australia yet, and it's like already had a massive impact on me. Yeah. So that's probably one of the biggest things for me right now.
Because we know ourselves, even from most things that we've done this year, to grow as a person, you have to do things that you're kind of scared of.
Totally. Like everything that I've achieved this year, if you were to tell me that I'd done that like a year before, I would have been scared.
Yeah,
of course. I would have been so scared.
Yeah, like with everything, with
every single one of them,
with like high rocks wise, with moving abroad,
Yep.
coaching, like every little, there's certain moments that you feel the fear,
Yeah.
and you've done it anyway. Therapy.
Totally. I
Like,
think that's the biggest difference as well, though. Like the reason they've all worked out is because we've went all in on all of them.
yeah,
Like when you've got one foot in and one foot out, it's difficult because you're not fully surrendering to like the fear of it all. Like people will be scared of that fear, and then that will cause them to not actually go all in on it. But like the main thing that you need to do when you feel that way is put 2 feet in and go all in on it. And when you do that, you 9 times out of 10 you get a good outcome.
Yeah.
Because you've put all your efforts in. The biggest thing that I always go back to when I'm doing something is like, I can never fail, because you can only fail when you stop trying.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like that's the biggest thing that's always sat with me, whether that was like when I was first starting PT, people were coming to me and questioning me on it and being like, oh, well, you're leaving your plumbing job, you're like 3 years in, like, why don't you just see it out? That's the secure thing to do. Like, what if that doesn't work out? What if personal training doesn't work out? And it was like, it's going to work out.
Yeah.
Because it can only not work out if I stop trying to do it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
You can lose, but you can't fail.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Because if you can just keep trying, you will win.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like it's an exciting time. But like for me, I think with every like big decision and big move, it's you do feel you have some fears.
Totally.
Like your brain's always going to be the what if like mechanism. It's always going to be what if this, what if that. And I've got a good exercise, like a practical exercise that I do if I've got loads of what ifs happening. And I done it for Australia when we're looking to decide like around the move and make the actual decision. And it's like, what if this happens? What if that? What if this? And like, see, when you actually boil it down, you're like, I will work it out.
Yep.
I've worked all the other ones out in the past, and like a lot of people say, they're like, oh, if it doesn't work out, you can just move back, and which is absolutely true. Like you just can't.
It's a day of travel, innit?
Yeah, you can go back to almost the exact life that you were living beforehand.
100%.
So why not try? And I think that's both of our thoughts about moving abroad,
Totally.
and moving to the other side of the world.
Yeah.
Let's talk about our plans, our general plans of moving over. We kind of mentioned a little bit about the 5th of January, myself and Jenna are flying out to Bali, and then on 3rd of February, Aidan's flying out from Edinburgh. You're in Edinburgh, Doha.
Edinburgh to Doha, then 3-hour layover, and then Doha to Sydney.
I think Jenna and I get in the morning, and then Aidan gets in kind of evening time.
Yeah, evening time, 6:30 or something.
Oh, on the same day. We're all on the 4th.
Yep.
So we're gonna all share a little spot in Sydney for around a month, like an Airbnb, and during that time in the Airbnb, we'll be looking for a kind of longer term, like monthly lease thing that will be over there. Looking to live around like the eastern suburbs part of Sydney, which is like a lot of people will know Bondi, will know Coogee, etc. It's like kind of near the beaches is where we're going to be looking. But we're also open like during that month to like look around. That's what that month is for, is to be curious and to like go around Sydney, train at different gyms, like spend time in different places, and we'll find somewhere. And yeah, that's like in terms of living wise, job wise, we're also the same. We're like we're going over there with like an idea of what we would like to do, but also open to the idea of doing whatever it takes to just experience the life that we want there and have the time to do the things that we want as well. So yeah, of course I'm going to be we're going to be coaching as much as we can as well. An ideal situation, we would like to work in the same gym and coach together like we did at Sin. Ideally, a small group PT would be ideal, which there is a lot of over in Sydney, but I imagine there's also a lot of PTs and coaches there as well.
Yeah, totally.
Pretty competitive market. So again, we're both open to ideas as to working wherever we can for the time being until we find something that we truly love over there.
Definitely. That's something as well. Using that kind of first period of just like experience and figuring out like what we actually want to be doing, and if like I think speak for both of us when I say like we're not opposed to like doing other things as well. If we need to like get some like jobs, whether that's like in a cafe or doing some agency work, like that's also fine, because I know that it's gonna work out at some point anyway. And if we have to do that to start, then that's totally fine. It's just about kind of finding our feet and make sure we're doing everything we possibly can to get to where we want to be.
Yep. And we've got some exciting athletic goals and plans as well, to do with running, to do with high rocks. And the great thing about Sydney as well is that it has such a massive fitness community. Like tons of gyms, also tons of run clubs. It suits our lifestyle a lot, Sydney, because it's a very active lifestyle. There's a lot of people around our age, 20s, who move over there, who are in a similar position, who train early mornings, who like to live an active lifestyle. The coffee over there is insane.
I'm ready for that shit, bro. That's the biggest thing that I'm excited for. I don't give a shit about like the sun
and the beaches and that.
Sun and the beaches, I don't care about that shit. Just the coffee. I'm excited for that. It's gonna be sick.
Yeah, I think Australia's the one place that's had unbeatable coffee for me. So yeah, the kind of lifestyle that is lived over there is one that we want to live, which is hence the decision that we chose to move over there. But we have some exciting goals within that as well. Well, obviously train within a amazing community of fitness, but we have some high rocks goals. We also have some running goals as well, and we'll start off with high rocks.
Yeah.
So high rocks, we have, of course, qualified for World Championships in Stockholm, which is in June, which is going to be our real main event of the year, which we're going to be tailoring our training towards. But between now and then, we have around 7 months, and we're going to be splitting that into a couple of different blocks. Our plan of action, we've not confirmed tickets or anything yet, but the plan of action with High Rocks is to have a real good block from the start of the year up until around April and May time, and then that will take us into like 8 weeks before World Championships. So we're thinking High Rocks Brisbane,
yep,
in the middle of April, and then High Rocks in Sheehan, which is in South Korea. Next to Seoul. Yeah, so they're the two that we've kind of picked out in the calendar. Not 100% confirmed yet, but they're the ones that we would love to do. And also we're going to be trialling out something new that we've not done before, and that is giving solos a shot, giving singles a shot. We've of course ticked off our biggest goal for this year in terms of athletic goals to qualify for Worlds, but that is in the men's pro doubles for our age group, and we want to just be curious and give it a shot with the solos as well.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a completely different game. With singles, it's like doubles is shorter, sharper. You're kind of in between the heart rate zones where you're like redlining it, and then you drop that back down a little bit when you get rest, etc. But solos is pretty much like a threshold to redline throughout the whole time. So it is a difficult thing. It's going to we're going to be doing different styles of training as well. Not massively different. However, it will jack our fitness levels right up.
Yeah. Totally, 100%. It's that's good as well, because having these fitness events for feel like when we're over there's less distractions, and there's like we can just fully dial in on that, which is very exciting. But yeah, the solos are something that is again like something that's pretty daunting, something that's pretty scary.
Yeah.
I think, and that only means one thing: it's going to push you to do as much as you possibly can and really give your all to it. So ideally, we spoke about pro doubles and open singles in Brisbane, mid-April time, and then coming into Sheehan. What's that? Is that start of May?
I think it's like the 10th of May or 10th
of May. Give our best shot at a pro singles, and then maybe an open doubles as well, depending on like what tickets are there and stuff. So yeah, something that's exciting, but very, like, when I think about it, it scares me a wee bit.
Yeah.
Especially the pro singles. Shit myself. So yeah, something that will be good, I think.
Yeah. And again, like that is the exact same. Like you've got that fear. Totally. The exact same around something new, something that is difficult to do, but with all of that, it becomes hard training, which makes you better. So again, it's the whole process versus outcome thing that we talk about during that 16-week block between the start of the year and towards like that pro solos. We're destined to get fitter, stronger, because that process is going to help towards that goal at the end of it.
Exactly.
So yeah, that is some exciting High Rocks goals, and then let's hear the other big goal that we have, which is after the World Championships.
It's like banger after banger, bro. So some of you may know, Anton announced it on his Instagram that he's going to be doing the Sydney Marathon. I'm the exact same. I'm going to be doing it as well. So yeah, that is a pretty surreal moment for the both of us. I think it's going to be a pretty surreal moment for the both of us. I think that ever since I started this whole fitness thing, one of my biggest goals has been to be able to run a major marathon, and this will be my first one, and I'm so excited. I've always, like, I started off just kind of running as like my kind of fitness journey, and I've done a handful of like marathon distances. I've done ultra marathons. I've only done one official marathon, and that I got 3:11. So it would be amazing to get a chance to cap off that kind of sub 3 mark. But yeah, that is something for me personally is going to be a really, really special moment for me, but I also know it's going to be a mad moment for you as well.
Yep.
You're going to get like a fucking 2-hour PB.
Yeah, so as Aidan says, I also got accepted for it. We both are going to be running for the same foundation, We Run Foundation, which we'll be raising some money for over the next 8-9 months.
Yeah.
When is it? It's August, isn't it?
It's August time, I think.
Yeah, I think it's like end of August time. So we've got such an exciting 2026 ahead of us. I'm genuinely buzzing for it. This year has been amazing, like athletically in terms of goals and stuff, but next year is going to be even better. So it's mega exciting for both of us. I'm the same. Like I'd love to push for that sub 3 as well. And I think with a big block of not just High Rocks training, but just general fitness as well, we'll be aiming towards that, and to do it in a major marathon, but even more especially the city that we are living in that moment in time.
Aye.
That's insane to see when that email came through, that we'd been accepted for it, and I was like, oh my god. I was like, that's
it's like
unbelievable.
the build up to it. There's going to be so many people out there working towards the same thing, and that can only bring amazing vibes and just like an amazing experience. So yeah, like I cannot wait for that.
Yeah, so mega exciting kind of athletic goals for 2026. I'm sure after that we'll have an idea as to maybe something for towards the end of the year. We've already chatted about one thing that we would like to do. However, we've got some exciting athletic goals in 2026. But like that comes back to this podcast as well. This podcast has been like a unbelievable like documentation of our athletic goals, I think, because almost every big like event that we've done in High Rocks or the half marathon, we've done like a pre-cap and a recap as well, where we go over like our thoughts or feelings throughout it, how we actually done in it. But this, I think, the podcast has been so good for just documenting not just our like what we've achieved or what we've like lost in. I'm not going to say fail because we've not failed.
Learned in.
Yeah, that we've learned some lessons in. But also just like documenting our thoughts of how we're feeling, like our mindset, how our mindset's changed throughout the year. So yeah, this podcast has made that special to do that, I think.
100%. It's like you could go back to the start and just like for me to think about that, the amount of growth that's been made from the first episode to the 39th is pretty scary to think, and it just shows you what can be done in a year. It shows you what can be done in a year, and it's just so exciting, mate. It makes me so happy to get the opportunity to do this thing with you, bro. Like to do this thing and to have people watch our journeys and we're able to document it. It's a blessing like no other, to be honest.
Yeah.
So it's just like it's for me it's just kind of feeling grateful and happy to be able to continue this journey, you know.
Yeah, and that kind of lays us on to our last point about we're going to do like an end of year reflection, almost going over the podcast in general. But the podcast has been like a penultimate moment in our week since the start of the. When was it February we started?
I think so, yeah.
I'm just going to check that. But it literally did just come off the back of. Remember that day we had a conversation and said it must have been in January time, and we spoke for about an hour and a half or something.
I remember it like it was yesterday, bro.
Yeah, and then I think after it, I was 27th of January.
27th of January.
End of January. After it, I was like, we should have recorded that. That was a good conversation.
Totally.
Like you leave that conversation feeling it, and since then we've had 40 of them recorded that we've put out onto the internet. We've almost been every week, so we'll have over 40 episodes going into 2026.
Yeah. And it's a great opportunity as well next year to take the podcast to the next level as well, because we're going to be around each other so much.
Yeah.
And we can have a better structure of that. As I said, like there's been a lot of moving parts, so that's what we kind of addressed at the start of the podcast. But I feel like it's just gonna moving over is just gonna allow us to stay consistent the way we know we can, and just kind of bring something else to the table when it comes to the podcasts. I think so. That's also really exciting for us. Yeah,
and the podcast itself is it's like a vehicle for personal growth. That's really what I see it as, because it's just literally documenting what we're learning, what our thoughts, our feelings are. Having some amazing guests on the podcast as well, which I'm excited to do in 2026. It genuinely is just a vehicle to try and get better at things, and hopefully pass on some good lessons that we've learned from our life to others. That's why we wanted to start it in the first place. But it's funny as well, like you get so much more from the podcast than you'd ever thought beforehand.
Totally.
Like even my speaking has got 10 times better because I listened back to the first podcasts, and how many as, likes, this, that is in there is wild, because it's your first time doing it. But again, it was a scary thing, and we've then made loads of iterations and changed things, and your speaking just gets so much better. So there's so many tiny little things that you don't think are going to get better, and they naturally just get better.
Totally. 100%.
So yeah, the Any reflections on the pod journey this year?
It's mad, mate. Like, even just kind of us speaking about it just now, it allows you to realise what it's brought to the table. Like, having a pod and being able to speak about the things that you care about, and I'll like educate people on the things that you've been learning about, is something that is super special to me, and I know it's super special to you as well. So when I think about the pod and I think about all the episodes that we've done, it makes me feel so good, and it makes me feel proud, because there's been so many times where someone has came up to me and they've said that they've taken something away from the podcast. There's been so many times where someone said that, and it's a different feeling, because you feel like you're giving back. You're giving back because, like, we're learning about these things because we want to feel good. We're learning about these things because we want to like just learn and grow as people, and if we can get the opportunity to give that to someone else, then that's the whole reason why we wanted to start it, because we're having great conversations and we're feeling like we've got a lot of value in these conversations, and it's a pleasure to get the opportunity to have this, and as I say, it's just going to get better and better as we go on.
I think that's the ultimate purpose in life, is to pass on the learnings that you've had usually through doing hard things, to someone else.
1,000,000%.
If you can shortcut a difficult lesson to another person, that's life changing for the person who teaches that or gives that.
Because you start learning about these things because you want to feel a certain way, you want to feel good, and being able to be that person for someone is something that's like money couldn't buy. I think something that is extremely special to me, and it's important for me that I continue to learn and continue to grow as a person. So as I say, I can speak about this on this podcast, and maybe some people can take some stuff away from that. So yeah, reflecting back, and I know we're going to have the reflection podcast coming closer to the new year, but I think today's been great for me to think about these things and really understand why we started this in the first place.
Yeah. So we've got some exciting episodes coming over the next 2 weeks until the end of the year. But we'll
have a wee break.
Yeah, we're going to be having a little break from kind of start of January through till start of February. And yeah, we'll be updating you all and taking podcasts to the next level as well in February onwards. It's going to be an exciting time, not just documenting our like athletic journey, we'll document our literal life, like what the move is going to be like, the lessons from that as well, and hopefully can take some things away from it. Yeah. Well, look, one of the most amazing things as well is looking back on this in the future. I always think about this, like from a perspective of in 5 years from now, 10 years from now, there's nothing I'll thank myself more for than doing shit like this. Speaking to your best mates on a podcast, like recording, documenting that. Like, think of the people we've had on as well. We've had Ryan Dale, we've had Harry on, we've had Christian on. We've had like so many people that like are going to be in our lives in 5 and 10 years time, and like looking back on that and looking at the way we think then, like now compared to then, is going to be like, you'll thank yourself so much for doing it and just putting it out there.
Totally. It's so important to do that as well, and to understand that that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're almost kind of, it comes back to like the whole like kind of delaying that gratification.
Yeah.
Once you're able to do that, and then you'll get 5-10 years down the line, and you'll be able to look back and see how much you've grown. It's so important to do these type of things, and as I say, we're blessed. We're blessed to get that chance.
Yeah, because if this is episode 39, episode 40, what's episode 400 going to be like? Like when you've lived so many different like parts of your life. We've lived in Australia, like all that. Life will be so different then. It'll be cool to look back on.
Very cool.
We appreciate you all, as always. Thank you for listening to this one. As I said, some mega exciting ones coming over at the next 2, so stay in tune for that. One more thing to stay, and that's stay curious.
Stay curious. Thank you guys for your patience, and I appreciate everyone listening, as always. It's been a great year. I'm looking forward to reflecting on that fully in the next couple of pods.
Yeah, see you all in the next one.
Stay curious.